Hello, I'm Chris Barker and welcome back to another album review. Today, I'm going to be looking at the soundtrack for the 1980 film Xanadu. The whole film has a really bizarre plot, and it's about Olivia Newton-John being like a Greek muse, and she's like sent back to Earth to inspire like this young guy and Gene Kelly to make a nightclub. It's really strange. So the film's shtick is basically being a mashup of older Gene Kelly movies and new or late 70s teen movies, kind of like Grease. As such, the soundtrack tries to be pop rock mixed with older style ballads, although how committed the music is to this gimmick is questionable at best. The album is split up into two sides. Side 1 comprises of songs by Olivia Newton-John, and Side 2 has songs by Electric Light Orchestra. Only a few songs here are actually sung by Olivia Newton-John in the film, as most of them were used as background music, performed by someone else in the story, or in one case, playing diegetically over speakers in a roller skating sequence. Yeah, the film is a bit strange. Electric Light Orchestra themselves don't even appear in the film, not even as a cameo, sadly. As such, the utilization of this music in the film itself is somewhat lacking. Still, I'm here to actually review the music, not the film, so as such, I'm going to be going through each song, and then at the end, I'll talk about the album as a whole. Kicking off Olivia Newton-John's side is Magic. This is a nice pop-rock single with a good vocal from Newton-John and a luscious synth backing. The lyrics are some sort of mystical, magical romance nonsense. Honestly, this brand of sci-fi mythology stuff actually pairs quite well with her voice and works pretty well. The lyrics sound like they would probably have some meaning in the film, but they actually don't, as the song is featured as background music in the roller skating sequence, so... question mark? Suddenly sees Newton-John perform a duet with Cliff Richard. This track is no different from any other 70s easy-listening ballad. The lyrics are forgettable and the song lacks an effective hook. The production is typical of the genre and does nothing to impress. The next track, Dancin, features band The Tubes. This is a mashup of a 1940s big band style track sung by Olivia Newton-John and an arena rock track performed by The Tubes. At the end of the song, these two parts are overlaid on top of each other. The ending is solid, but the build-up was too long and dull in my opinion. Suspended in Time is another pretty typical ballad performed by Olivia Newton-John. The delivery of this one is probably better than Suddenly, but I'd say Suspended in Time's lyrics are weaker. There really isn't anything special here. It's competently delivered, but there really isn't anything to this song. Whenever You're Away From Me is a big band duet between Newton-John and Gene Kelly. This song is too long and boring. It has segments for there to be tap dancing. This works in the movie because you can actually see them tap dancing. But here on LP, it's just boring. I'm Alive kicks off the Electric Light Orchestra side with a bang. This is a feel-good song about being happy to be alive. This song utilizes a familiar sound to ELO's previous few albums, with the falsetto backing vocals contrasting with the lead, lots of synth mixing with the strings, and an infectious energy throughout. The Fall is kind of like the earlier songs Blueboard is Dead and Living Thing rolled into one. Those are previous Electric Light Orchestra songs. Basically, it's a song where the singer is in denial about his breakup being for good. The song is a slower ballad with a sudden chorus, featuring vocals from Kelly Crockett. It works well, but there are several other ballads by Electric Light Orchestra that kind of sound like this. Don't Walk Away is another pretty typical Electric Light Orchestra style ballad. Its chorus and lyrics are pretty forgettable. It's not bad per se, but in a catalogue of songs like Midnight Blue or Torn to Stone, Don't Walk Away comes across as a cheap imitation. All Over the World is a great upbeat poppy party song. It's got a good synth line and I like the hand claps. The chorus is great and I really like Jeff Lynne's vocal on this song. I also like the backing vocals listing off various cities all over the world. It goes well with the song's theme of a worldwide party. And finally, closing out the album is Xanadu. This is the only track to feature both Electric Light Orchestra and Olivia Newton-John. Newton-John sings lead, and ELO provides the backing, including both Jeff Lynne and Kelly Crockett on backing vocals. The lyrics are basically hyping up a place called Xanadu. This is probably the song that has the most to do with the movie's plot, even in a somewhat abstract way, since Xanadu is the nightclub of the movie. Honestly, this song is what the whole album should have been. Olivia Newton-John has a good voice, but she's only as good as the material she is performing. Here, Newton-John sings one of Jeff Lynne's songs and is accompanied by Electric Light Orchestra's excellent backing. This is a winning combination, but also sadly the only example of it. And before we go to my final thoughts on albums, I do have review scores for all the songs, so here they are. Magic, 8 out of 10. Suddenly, 5 out of 10. Dancin, 5 out of 10. Suspended in Time, 5 out of 10. Whenever You're Away From Me, 5 out of 10. I'm Alive, 8 out of 10. The Fall, 7 out of 10. Don't Walk Away, 6 out of 10. All Over the World, 8 out of 10. And Xanadu, 8 out of 10. As it stands, Xanadu is a mixed package of an album. The idea of an Olivia Newton-John-ELO collaboration is enticing, but the reality is that it is really just one song. What instead we get here is an ELO EP slapped onto the side of an Olivia Newton-John EP. The Electric Light Orchestra side is pretty solid overall. It feels like a streamlined companion to the album Discovery, a bit less substantial perhaps, but still very fun. I'm Alive and All Over the World do feel like strong additions to the overall ELO catalogue, and The Fall is a very worthy album track. The Olivia Newton-John side is meanwhile mostly forgettable. Magic is great, but the rest of the songs are pretty standard ballads. Newton-John's vocals are good, and she does do her best to deliver each track with enthusiasm, but there wasn't really enough material there for her to make it work. The album also has a hard time feeling like a cohesive product. On side 1, only Magic really sounds like the ELO songs in terms of production. The rest of Newton-John's material generally is easy listening ballads, and they generally try to follow the movie's concept of being a mashup between the 40s and the late 70s. The ELO side, meanwhile, tends to have more to do with the movie's plot, at least lyrically, and generally it sounds a lot more like ELO's previous album. So in the end, Xanadu is a good Electric Light Orchestra EP, with a great song in Magic on the other side. Not having a greater collaboration between the two was a big missed opportunity in my opinion, although I do understand they were signed to different record labels at the time. This album sold really well, and it's pretty cheap, so I do definitely recommend getting it for Magic and the ELO side, but I can't give it anything higher than a 6 out of 10. And here at the end, as always, we do, of course, always like to look at the sleeve. I quite like the packaging on this one. You got all this. This is kind of embossed, so that's nice. Got this big kind of retro-futurist font. That's from the movie logo. It's also on the poster and everything, but it does look nice. And then we do have gatefold. We have some shots of the film in here. Can't say I care much for that. And on the back, we have this really nice picture of Olivia Newton-John holding the Electric Light Orchestra logo. It's the exact same drawing as on a New World Records sleeve, but it's still pretty nice. I actually have this as my phone background, actually, so you can see it right there. It's my phone background, so that's nice. Quite like that. So yeah, it's just a pretty standard soundtrack sleeve. I do like the film logo, but it's the film logo. It's not really anything specific to the album. So yeah, and before I go, I do want to encourage you to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I also have already reviewed most of Electric Light Orchestra's previous albums, so I would strongly recommend checking those videos out. Once again, if you made it here to the end of this video, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.